Hello and welcome to Simple French Cooking. My name is Francois. Today we are making another classic dish. I know that's a huge surprise, but today I want to teach you how to make pot-au-feu. Pot-au-feu is the kind of dish that, it's a family dish. It's something that you make at home often. I think every family in France makes it. Usually you don't see it in restaurants, but actually the version I'm going to teach you today is a blend of the way my mother made it my whole life, mixed with Michel Guerard's recipe. When he had his restaurant in Paris called Pot-au-feu, this was obviously the signature dish. And so my mother would make it with 3 cuts of beef, but the version I'm going to teach you today is made with beef short ribs. Michel Guerard used oxtails. I couldn't find any, so I'm using lamb shanks and surprising ingredient, duck confit. Anyways, stay tuned today and I'll teach you how to make pot-au-feu. The very first step is to cut an onion in half. Now, one half you're going to stick under your broiler and char. The other one you're going to stick 2 cloves in the side. Then add your stock to a large pot. You're going to need about 14 cups. Add your celery, your bouquet garni, 4 peppercorns. Okay, if you put 5, it's okay. A tablespoon of salt. Then add all of the meat that you're using. Now, not the duck confit, just the raw beef and lamb if you made it like me. Add a whole head of garlic. Then add the onion that you charred. Now, this onion is going to give the stock a beautiful flavor and a beautiful color. Bring it up to a boil, then reduce it down to a simmer. Remove any scum and let this cook for 3 hours. The pork broth is an ingenious way to flavor your cabbage and your potatoes. It's made simply by putting salt pork in cold water into a pot, bringing it to a boil, and then reducing it to simmer. Let it cook for about 1.5 hours for all the flavors to come out. And now we have to turn our attention to the vegetables. So for this dish, I'm going to use turnips, potatoes, I have cabbage, I have little baby carrots that are peeled, leeks, and then green beans. My mother never added green beans, but I saw in Michel Guerard's recipe he did. Wrap your leeks in a piece of cheesecloth and tie it closed. This makes such an easy way to get it out of the pot, and plus your leeks won't come apart when you're cooking them. You may also want to do the same thing with your green beans, but that's up to you. Now you're going to need to get all your other vegetables ready, like finding small carrots and peeling them, getting your turnips all peeled, and look for small ones of those as well, cleaning the ends off of your green beans, and then of course peeling your potatoes. Okay, so when your meat is done, take it out and keep it warm. And now it's time to cook our vegetables. So get the pork broth boiling and also your beef broth boiling. Drop your potatoes into the pork broth. And this is going to give them the most wonderful flavor ever. In the beef broth, drop in your leeks, your turnips. Put your carrots. And we're just going to let all of those cook till they're tender. Oh, doesn't that look lovely? Pull your potatoes out when they're cooked. And then check your carrots. You can take a small knife and stick it into it. When you don't get much resistance, your carrots are done. Now I'm going to cook my cabbage in the pork broth. And in the meantime, I'll be removing the vegetables from the beef broth. I know it seems complicated, but it's really easy when you stop and think about it. And the reward is a delicious meal that's going to take you straight to the countryside of France. So remove your turnips when they're done and take your leeks out. This is my favorite horseradish sauce ever. peel a piece of horseradish, and it's kind of hard, so be careful. Then you're gonna grate it as fine as you can. Then we're gonna put breadcrumbs in a food processor fitted with a steel blade, along with a touch of cream. And just pulse this till it's mixed and nice and creamy. Now we're going to add a tablespoon of sugar, all of your horseradish, add a little bit of salt and pepper to your own personal taste, and then we're going to add a touch of apple cider vinegar and a spoonful of Dijon mustard. And then just puree this till it's nice and smooth, and this is one of the best sauces you'll ever try. This is also great on steaks. All right, take a look at this. So this is our pot-au-feu. We got all of our vegetables arranged around. We're gonna serve the broth first with some of the little baguettes with the bone marrow on it. If you don't have bone marrow, you can just butter the toast, same thing. Anyways, and you know, this is a family meal in France, so you wanna put this down on the table and let your guests help themselves to everything. Anyways, thanks so much for watching Simple French Cooking. My name's Francois. I hope you enjoyed it, and please subscribe. It means a lot to me. Thank you. Bye-bye.